What's the difference between a solopreneur and a freelancer?
It's more strategic. It's more macro outcome. It's more, why are we doing this work rather than what is the work? Like, where are we trying to go? So a freelancer is the bricklayer. A solopreneur is building the castle. If I gave you a magic pill, like Xanax, right? And the minute you took the pill, you're now earning $15,000 a month, right? Immediately. How much would you pay me for that pill?
15,000.
Right. Or some people say 100,000 because they're like, this is fucking priceless for me. If I'm going to be making 15,000 every month, that's price versus value. I went on this losing streak with sales. It was ridiculous. It was like 16 sales calls I didn't close. So when we analyzed it, I was like, I didn't want to work with any of them. And what a reframe that is. So it wasn't like I sucked at sales because I was following the script and I was doing everything the same way, but the tone was different. The twinkle in the eye was gone. Passive income. You're on drugs, man. This whole thing of build it and they will come, and I'm going to build a website and people are going to come and fucking they're going to throw their money at me because I built a website. What?
What's the difference between a solopreneur and a freelancer?
I've been thinking a lot about this. Lots of differences. Primarily, the freelancer just wants a job without the commitment. It's like he just wants a fling on the side. You know what I mean? Like he just wants a girl, friends with benefits kind of thing. Whereas a solopreneur is invested in the outcome that him and or the solopreneur and the client are trying to achieve. Fully invested in the outcome. So it's more strategic. It's more macro outcome. It's more, why are we doing this work rather than what is the work? Like, where are we trying to go rather than... So a freelancer is the bricklayer. A solopreneur is building the castle.
I'm just curious because I read an article that said that solopreneurs make up $1.7 trillion of the US economy. And then he goes on to talk about freelancers. I'm like, but isn't there a difference?
Yeah, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Whoever that fucking douchebag.
Yeah, it's all good. Like, to me, it's like he's looking at it like it's a solo business, 0 employees, right? It makes up
could be
1.7 trillion.
But if you're selling, if you're an Uber driver, you're a freelancer. You're not a fucking solopreneur. There's no business. You're saying I can do the job that you would have to pay someone full-time salary to do for whenever you need me, or part-time salary for whenever you need me. That's all it is. There's no business.
You tend to work with solopreneurs who are basically between just getting started and like trying to earn maybe not just getting started, but like kind of in the early stages of their business, right? Up till they're hitting about $15,000 a month in revenue. Why is it 15,000? A lot of your marketing fixates on that number.
Well, because it's different. People just, first of all, it's marketing. It's like, why is he saying 15? Exactly like you just said. Second of all, it's big enough to matter. Like, it makes a difference if I'm hitting 15 plus. Like, I might now forget about getting a job, but it's small enough that it makes people say, maybe I can get that. Whereas you see these idiots saying, I could help you make 100,000 a week. It's like, no, you fucking can't, because you're not making that fucking much money. You know what I mean? So, and it was the toughest number for me to get to consistently. Just happened to be the toughest number. And then you think about market value. So I like to work with people who are valuable to the market. Well, how do you know you're valuable to the market? Either people pay you, solopreneur, or companies are willing to pay you. Well, how much is a company willing to pay you? Well, whatever the company's willing to pay you, you're worth 3 times plus that value, that number. So if a company's willing to pay you $100,000 a year, you're bringing value of at least $300,000 to that company, right? Okay, so then why 15? Well, first of all, if you work for a company, you don't have to do any sales and marketing. You're just working. You're just doing the job. So let's split your time 50-50. It's really easy this way. So 50% of my time is going to be sales and marketing, finding clients, and 50% of my time is going to be serving clients. Okay. So if I got paid $100,000 in a company and I worked half the time because I had to spend half my time finding customers, then I would be getting paid $50,000 by that company. Fair? Okay,
sure.
Times it by 3, that's $150,000 a year. So you're worth at least $150,000 a year to the market in half the time.
That's how millionaires do math, homie.
Yeah, right. Because it is math. It is maths. It's like, why are you sitting for feelings and intuition? Fuck off. What's your fucking, you don't even know what intuition is. And you're saying my intuition and my feelings are, and the market seems to me. It's like, there's no seems. It's just fucking, oh, my house is worth this much. No, it's worth what people are willing to fucking pay for it. That's how much it's worth. It doesn't fucking matter what you feel. That's how much the house is worth. Whatever someone's willing to pay for it at this time.
There's so many solopreneurs that have something that's probably worth $5,000 and they're charging $1,000 or $2,000 for it. Why?
Yeah, well, so I don't know how to measure what the value is other than by presenting an offer to the market at a price and seeing how many people are willing to pay that price. So I'll give you an example, a real example. So I started what the program that I run. I only do one thing really. I get a group of solopreneurs together and I work with them to get to 15K. That's really only what I do. And I work with them very closely and very intensively and very hands-on and very like boot camp and fucking calling them out and helping them through their mindset struggles. And like, it's not pay for my course and I might do a drop in once a week, it's like proper. I get into their heads. I know their fucking kids' names and their family names, you know what I mean? Their husband's name. And sometimes I meet their husbands and wives. And it's like it's like a temporary co-founder. Right? It's like I'm your co-founder for the next 12 weeks. And when I started selling this program, I was selling it at $997. I'm now selling it at 10 times that. Now, I didn't know what the value was, but I was like, what do you need? You need to be able to sell it. So start low, because if you're putting your prices down, A, you've gone too high, and B, you're going to look like a dick to the customers that paid the money. Right? So you start low, and then as you sell, you increase your price. And as you get social proof, you can accelerate the increase of the price. So let's talk about value real quick. If I say the average client I have who's winning, not the average from everyone, because most of them don't get there. Let's be clear, because they don't do the work. And I track everything. So if anyone wants to fucking badmouth me, I'll bring out all the fucking stats and I'll say, you're not doing the work. Don't sit here and blame me and my system and all this stuff, right? My process and whatever. And it's not even mine anyway. I just stole it from other people that are smarter than me. So that's a different story. But let's just say, on average, the people that do the work that we agree and they use the models that I give them, on average, they get $10,512 more dollars a month than they were earning before they came to me. I can now claim that my framework is worth $10,512 a month. Okay, so if I charge $10,512, you're getting a 1 month ROI. If I'm charging $100,000, whatever the fuck it works out, you're getting a 12-month ROI. So it's like, what is the ROI that makes sense? If you're buying a house, it's different if you're buying a car. It's different if you're buying a meal, right? So it's how long? What do I need it for? How long do I need it for? And how is it going to make my life better? I'll give you a real quick anecdote. Anecdote, is that the right word? Antidote?
Yeah, that works.
I have a client who's selling to people who've lost their jobs. Typically people who are in one job, one company for a long time, and suddenly they got cut loose and they're like, I don't know what to do now because I've never had to worry. I thought I was going to be here till I die. So it's an identity issue. I don't know what to do. I've never been in an interview. I've been in the same company and she helps them. And she said to me, I can't charge $3,000 is what I thought she should charge. She said, I can't charge $3,000 because they don't have any money. They don't have a job. They've been out of a job they don't have any money. They're dipping into their savings. They're borrowing money. How can I now charge them $3,000? I said, well, how much is it costing them to not have a job?
Way more than $3,000.
So I said, ask them that in the sales call. Make them see the value. So she says to them on the sales call now, what kind of savings do you have? Oh, I've got some savings from my career and blah, 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 and for my payoff and okay. How much does it cost? How much of your savings are you using every month? Oh, like $6,000, $8,000. I got a mortgage. I got kids, school, blah, 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 medical. So you're spending $8,000 from your savings every month. For $3,000, I can get you a job next month. That's how you present. So you have to, they have to understand the monetary value before you give them your price. And so in a sales call, my job is to get them to see the money. Now it's simpler for me because it's like, how much are you making? $5,000. Okay, you want to get to 15? That's worth $10,000 a month. Do you know?
Right.
So you paid $9,000 for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's the value price thing. What is it worth? And here's a real good question, Danny. If I gave you a magic pill like Xanax, right? And the minute you took the pill, you're now earning $15,000 a month, right? Immediately. How much would you pay me for that pill?
15,000.
Right? Or some people say 100,000 because they're like, this is fucking priceless for me if I'm going to be making 15,000 every month.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
I'd pay more.
That's price versus value. And they have to understand the value. It could be stress. It could be experience. So if someone says it's stress and I'm stressed and I'm not spending time with my kids and that's the pain, then you say to them, I use the magic pill. I don't talk about money. If they talk about money, I talk about money. That's easy. But if they talk about pain, stress, feeling bad, I have to go back to work, blah, blah, blah. If he says I have to go get a job tomorrow, it's not a money issue because he can go get a job and make money. So I don't talk about money. So I say, if I gave you a pill that guaranteed you never have to work for anyone else again and you'd be able to make money on your own, how much would you pay me that pill? And sometimes I put them under pressure. Huh? I say, you go 5 seconds to buy this pill and I'm gone. 5, 4, 3, and they go, 100,000. It's like, that's the value of the pill. That's the value of the solution that you're getting them. By the way, that's another difference between a solopreneur and a freelancer. One of the differences. Solopreneur cares about that outcome. The outcome that's valued at $100,000. They're not going, well, typically per hour, you would get a graphic designer for $25. So I'm going to charge you $25 an hour. It's like, this is all bullshit freelancer talk. I'm the same as everyone else. Just pick someone. Solopreneurs, I'm fucking different.
To me, the way that you like the sale comes naturally to you. It seems to me like selling comes like, I mean,
talking comes naturally.
Well, usually talking and selling
kind of. Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. But like, how do you get people to kind of get out of their own head when it comes to like having these sales conversations? Because I feel like that's probably the biggest thing that holds people back from like being a successful solopreneur versus being unsuccessful is that
there's 3 problems.
Okay.
With being successful.
Break
the
it
first
down.
is your positioning, right? Who am I talking to? And why do they go, that's for me? You have to get that attention. Oh shit, that's for me. Right? If I love steak and I'm in a new town, I'm looking for the steak. I'm looking for the thing that says steak, best steak in town. That's for me. That's for me. Right? So you have to get the attention of the audience. You know, you said a line to me once. I don't know if it was your line, but it was the first time I heard it really, was if you put you said something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If you put the word "and" in your niche, it's not a niche.
That's true. I did say that.
Yeah. You said it on one of my posts. And I was like, that's fucking great. I'm going to use that. And I use that, right? It's like the word "and" means you're not specialist.
I think I stole that from Ali, but I definitely.
You did say someone told me this, or my mentor told me something like that. I can't remember. But the point is, you have to niche down in a way that makes the person who's paying attention to you say, that's for me. That's the first thing. And the offer, we were talking about advertising the other day with a group of people. And I said, it's not the advertising, it's the offer sucks. It's not the algorithm and meta ads and the pixel and the fucking this and that. How much money, how many, it's not. It's your offer sucks. If I go into a stadium, Super Bowl stadium, 150,000 people, and I have a shitty offer, none of them are going to buy it. It doesn't matter how many people are paying attention to me. Right? Right. Has to be a good offer. So the offer has to be right to the right people. Right offer, right people. Has to be. If it's not, you're going to fail. First thing. Then it's outreach. So in soccer football, if you have to run, I think the number's 13 kilometers or 13 miles. You have to run 13 miles a game. Otherwise, you're not getting in the team. It doesn't matter. We don't talk tactics and talent and where you're going to stand and, how are we going to break through the defense. We don't talk about any of that shit unless you're running 13 kilometers in 19 minutes. If you can't do that, you're not getting in the team. Okay, outreach, you have to send 100 fucking messages a day. The only reason not to send 100 messages a day is if you have clients. If you have no clients, good fucking news, buddy. You have all day to send messages. And that's 100 messages. And I know because I sent 200 messages a day when I had no clients. I sent 1,000 messages a week when I had no clients. So that's the next problem, is they come to me and say, Mo, the niche is wrong. You picked the wrong niche. You got me to change my headline. It's not working. And I say, okay, how do you know that? Feelings. No one's responding. And then I'll open their condo tracker and I'm like, you sent 36 fucking messages the last 2 weeks. What do you mean it's not fucking working? You sent 36 fucking messages. I sent 36 by breakfast. what do you, so the next problem is the consistency and the persistence of outreach. Obsessive outreach, I call it. You wake up in the morning, you hug your wife and your tree and your dog and whatever the fuck you need to hug, and you fucking start outreaching. That's it. That's the priority. Finding the fisherman wakes up, kisses his wife, and goes to fucking sea to catch fish. That's your job as a solopreneur. The only thing that stops you doing that is health. Your health, or depending, your kid's sick, your wife's sick, your dad's sick, you're sick, you have to go to hospital. That's the only thing that stops you doing that. But I've got clients. Do the client work later. Do the client work later. The priority is finding new clients. Every single day, right? Okay, so that's the second problem. So the first is the position is wrong. The second is you're not doing the fucking work. Don't tell me about your fucking feelings. The market doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. And then the third problem is I'm doing the work, right? There's actually 4 problems technically. I'm doing the work, but they're not engaging. That's usually a position problem, or you're not doing the outreach properly. So you're doing the work, you're sending out the messages, but you're doing it wrong. So a lot of times with my clients, it's like, I sent 200 messages today and no one's responding. And I go and I look at I say, share your screen. And I say, where's the association? Why didn't you follow up there? Why didn't you ask him a question there? Why did you ignore him? Why didn't you? And they go, oh yeah. So they're not following the frameworks of the outreach. So that's really a third problem. And then the fourth problem is I'm getting them on a call and I'm not closing. If you don't fix the first 3, we don't need to talk about sales. Because what ends up happening is they get one sales call. All the pressure is on this one sales call. They have no sales calls coming up. The analogy I give is that you're practicing your 3 pointers or your tennis serve. You need a basket full of fucking balls so you can keep fucking serving to you have one ball, one sales call, and you've served it and you're like, you got to go fucking look for it in the bushes for fucking 10 minutes. And it's like, you don't get any rhythm. You don't get to get your aim right. You don't get to, right? So you need hundreds of sales calls to be able to practice the ideas that we give you, because you're going to fuck it up. You have to wait for the next one. And you want the next one quick. You don't want to fucking do a sales call, fuck it up, and then say, I'll go wait fucking 3 months for the next one. How are you going to build any rhythm that way?
I love it. And I think people get turned off by what you're saying because they're like, oh, I got to send out 100 messages every day. It's like, well, you don't have to do it for the rest of your life, but you got to do that now while you have no clients, right?
Yeah. And maintain it. There's another big problem. They'll call me. Oh, like, you're not sending any messages. I'm tracking. Oh yeah. I'm at capacity with clients. That's like saying I went to the hygienist and I don't have to brush my teeth for 3 fucking months. Right? It's like, no, you got to brush your teeth every fucking day. What do you mean? So you don't have to send 100 maybe. So I showed them my average because people don't believe me. So I say, look at my averages. 287 on average I send a week. And I'm making 50 grand a month. Right? Maybe you don't need 280 a week to get to 150 to 15K, 10K, 15K, whatever you want. But you need to send messages. And you need to follow up. And you need to fucking harass and message and fucking.
So what do you say to the people like, I want inbound leads?
Passive income. You're on drugs, man. You're on fucking drugs. Passive income is pretending to work for a company and getting paid a paycheck. Go do that. Go get a remote job from home, pretend you're working, and get paid passive income. No problem.
I heard about like some guy who would just like apply for like these remote jobs. He would get like 4 or 5 remote jobs at a time. At the same time, we get paid like we do no
income.
He would do no work. He would get paid 30 grand. He would get paid, and they would fire him, and he would get paid. Like
amazing. Passive income. That's passive income.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. This whole thing of build it and they will come, and I'm going to build a website and people are going to come and fucking they're going to throw their money at me because I built a website. What? Why?
What's better? What's better? Outreach like that or paid ads?
Well, paid ads depends what you're selling. So if I do paid ad, I need a warm audience because I work with 6 to 12 people a month, depending on my capacity. I need a warm audience, and I want to fucking know them before I work with them. I want to meet them and talk to them. And so if the ads can get me those people, great. But how are you you're not gonna get warm leads really from an ad, right? Unless you're advertising.
Because that's another thing. People say, oh, I want to be able to close clients and whatever without a sales call. Right. But you're saying, no, I want to talk to them. I want to get to know these people before I bring them into my program or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you? And why do people underestimate that?
Because my living life on my own terms is I wake up, I work with people, right? So if you sell a fucking software or, some solution where you don't need to talk to anyone, first of all, good for fucking you, because that's awesome. And second of all, who cares who buys it, right? If I'm selling these Muji pens on Amazon, why the fuck do I care who's ordering them? I just need the fucking address. I'll put it on the fucking box and I'll ship it. I couldn't give a shit. But I'm working with people. And my dream is to work with dream clients. And I
Oh, I
want to wake
forgot to
up.
tell you, you can't, this podcast is not explicit. You can't use expletives on
Swear
this.
words. I can't swear words. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say we have to restart the whole fucking. Okay. So
I'm sorry, I
we're
broke your flow.
no, that's okay. We were talking about selling. Okay, so I work with people. So so dream client, dream day is dream client. So I wake up, I look at my calendar, and I say, "Fuck yeah, I got a meeting with Danny today. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna be working with a." That's my day. Not, oh, for fuck's sake, I got to speak to fucking Gary again today, or God, it's another one-to-one with Sally. She's just gonna drone on about fucking. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I sell on the masterclass, and some people buy on the masterclass, and I'm like, I don't want to work with you. And so we started making the masterclass offer either big enough that it's only really the warm people that will buy, or when we make it the shorter offer, there's no access to me at all.
You saying you sell on a masterclass. How does that work? Give me the rundown. What's your strategy?
So monthly masterclass, I'll invite as many people as they allow me to. No, again, no advertising. Everything's manual and organic. Invite people, uh, hype the fuck out of them. This is the other thing about masterclass. Like, I'll message them, Danny, thanks for signing up for my masterclass. What are you looking to get out of it? I checked out your profile, blah, blah, blah. It's the same as I'm doing outreach. It's just a warmer lead because they've clicked on my masterclass,
Right. They showed
right?
interest. They've given
Yeah.
you've got, they've
I got
raised
the
their
right.
hand.
I've got the right to say to you, what are you looking to get out of the masterclass? What's your challenge? I got the right to ask that. You're not going to say, why are you fucking bothering me, right? Or you would, but you'd be a dick if you did that. Insta block on those people. So I'll then try and nurture them, get them on a call quick if I can. Why are we waiting for the masterclass? Or if I don't think they're qualified, I'll say, okay, great, see you on the masterclass. And then we follow up. We make sure that they turn up as much as possible. And then on the masterclass, I will, you know, I know my audience well enough now, so I know the objections that come up in the one-to-ones. So I bring the main objections together and I weave them through the masterclass, and I handle the objections through the masterclass, and I story tell. I used to deliver value, like I'll show you how to outreach, I'll show you how to build an offer, and no one ever bought from the masterclass. You'll be like, thanks, Mo. We're going to go and implement that now. So I stopped doing that and I started telling stories about, this is Danny. When he came to me, he was struggling, and now he's making 25, but not this Danny. And then now he's making 25 grand a month. This is Adina. She was struggling and now she's making this. And I try to give as many stories of women, men, older, younger, different, and, and then at the end, I say, would you like my help? Here's the framework. This is what you need. I give them enough detail that they know what they outcomes. I don't give them process. So you need an offer. You need to guarantee the offer. You need a niche. You need to outreach obsessively, but I don't tell them how to build the offer.
It's like, these are the exact steps that you need to do. But if you want to know,
the milestones you need to hit, or the sub outcomes, the mini outcomes that you need to hit to get there. And then I said, do you want my help to build it? Here's an offer.
this is how you sell in the creator economy. You give people exactly what the hell to do. This is the blueprint of exactly what you need to do. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. These are the steps that will get you here.
Mhm.
And if you need help, I'll do them with you.
And the most important thing is to evoke emotion, right? Through storytelling and through passion and important words. You don't explain things. Like, you don't use technical language. You say, and this will this will give you a bulletproof niche, and this will, slap people in the face, and this will draw people to you like a magnet. And you have to evoke emotion, and you have to deal with objections as you're going through, because you can't just say, right now we're going to deal with objections, A, B, C, D. You can't do that. So you have to weave it through, so that they're constantly self-qualifying. Is that for me? That's for me. Oh, that's not for me. Oh, no. Oh, that's not for me. Oh, that's for me. Oh, that, right? And then by the end, it's like a funnel. You get the people that are qualified, and then you give them an offer. on how you can help them achieve the things that you said that the other people achieve.
That's a beautiful thing.
One
So
to many. One to many. I reckon, maybe not the end of this year, but definitely by the end of next year, we hit $250,000 a year in webinar sales and masterclass sales from a monthly masterclass. And what I mean by that is not, it's not necessarily they bought live on the master. I sell as much off the masterclass.
right.
I do it because hey, Danny, you were engaging. You had some good questions. What happened? Why didn't you buy the, Tiny, let's get on a call. Let me help you. And I'll close them on the call.
Because you actually take the time to follow up with every single
Obsessive,
person.
obsessive
Yeah.
outreach.
Yeah.
Obsessive outreach. It's like, I'm not leaving you alone. By the way, here's a golden rule for anyone who's listening. If it's not an explicit no, what's an explicit no? Fuck off, leave me alone, block, disconnect, stop messaging me. That's an explicit no. Not right now is not an explicit no. I don't have time for this is not an explicit no. Ghosting is not an explicit no. If it's not an explicit no, it's a yes, but not now. And they're not going to come and go, who was that fucker who reached out to me 6 months ago? Let me go and find him in the fucking LinkedIn shithole inbox. And you know what I mean? You have to keep reminding them that you're here. And the only way to respect someone, in my opinion, is to tell them what you want very quickly and tell them, I'm going to keep chasing you. So if someone's ghosting me, I'm like, look, it looks like you're busy. I see you're busy on LinkedIn. I call them out. I see that you're commenting on LinkedIn and stuff. I don't know if you're checking your inbox, but it looks like you're not in the mood to talk to me. So I'm going to follow up in 3 weeks. Like, I tell them I'm going to follow up. And then they might come and say, don't bother.
Yeah.
That's an explicit.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when you know, right?
It's an explicit no. Yeah. Even then, I don't fucking let them go. What do you mean don't bother? Like forever?
I love it.
I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Like forever? Like this is the end?
Yo, I just wanted to take a very quick break in the action here because I just realized something crazy. 85% of the people that are watching our videos on YouTube are not subscribed. This is what happens when you actually get smart people to look into your analytics. So if you are enjoying this content and you want more practical advice and tips on how to grow your brand and your business with video, please hit the subscribe button. I do truly appreciate it. Secondly, if you are a founder and expert who really understands how important video is to grow your business, but you don't have time to mess around with cameras, write scripts, do video editing, or blow your entire budget on a fancy film crew, that's exactly what we help with at Video on Easy Mode. You are literally watching how it works in this episode right now. We make it easy to create high quality, natural video content to help you grow your business and grow your brand without leaving the comfort of your home or office. So if this sounds like something that your business can use right now, either scan the QR code or hit the link in the description. It's all remote. All you got to do is show up to a virtual studio, hang out with me for about an hour, and you're going to get a month's worth of videos. And let's get back into the interview. Does your approach piss people off sometimes or what?
Yeah. I block. I've got so many people I block. Like I piss people. I get pissed off as well. I bite back very quickly, and I shouldn't really. And I've been called out so many times on LinkedIn by people I block. They'll then screenshot my message and then go and make a post about how upset they are. Oh, this guy was so rude to me in the inbox. He told me to fuck off. And they get all this. They get, and you know what I love about those? Because people send me the messages. They go, I think this guy's talking about you, right? And
I
then
saw one the other day, actually.
yeah, you probably did, right? And from May, by the way, and it was a bullshit message because he was like, he told me this and that, and I was like, I didn't say any of those things. The screenshot is there of what I said, and so I'll go on to the people liking his post, and I'll block those guys too. I'm like, great, he's flushed out the fucking turds. I'm gonna flush them all down my toilet now. So I go on to everyone who liked his post, and I block those too.
Do you do that without fear of like ruining your reputation though?
Yeah, but what's the reputation? This guy was a bit snarky with me in the DMs. So what? I didn't fondle your kids. I didn't fucking cheat on cheat with your wife. I didn't fucking steal from you. I didn't blaspheme. I didn't break the law. So what is the reputation? What is it? And this is the thing as well. Like, I'm really tough with my clients, and I'll say things that Andrina, my VA, will watch the videos and go, Mo, how could you say that? And I can't believe they took it well. And they take it well because they know me. And this is why I say I need warm leads. I need people to know who the fuck that's why we did video together. Because I said I need people to see who I am so that pre-qualifies.
Yeah.
Instantly pre-qualified.
That's one of the things that I like and respect most about you is that you have a special ability that many people do not have, which is to really not give a fuck what other people think. And just to really just be yourself and share your own insights and share your own thoughts and share your humor and your personality and drop your F-bombs and all the things that you do. And that's the reason that the people that you do attract, like, are your people. They're your people.
It's my gang, right? Here's how I did this. First of all, you have to tell the truth. I could never tell the truth. I was a bullshitter. Right? I used to lie, I used to pretend things, and I used to, to say things just to win arguments and get one over this guy and pretend I knew something I didn't. And I was just a bullshitter, which made me a good sales person, let's say, in some sense, but just not in the good way. So I know I can spot bullshit a mile off because I used to do all that, and I know all the tricks, and I know how to catch people so the first part of that was to get brutally honest about myself and who I wanted to be, and to change that. So you have to be able. The first step is stop lying, and the second step is tell the truth, which is much harder than just not lying. Because often when you don't lie, you just shut up, right? But telling the truth is different. That's the next level. So I had to practice the fuck out of that, right? To see, and then I started to tell the truth about things that didn't matter. So the second step was to only talk about the things that matter. Like, why am I arguing about politics, and why am I arguing about shit that doesn't matter, even though it's the truth in my eyes, right? It's just wasted energy for me. Right. So that was the next level. So stop lying, start telling the truth, only talk about the things that matter. Okay. Once I got all that bit right, I then thought, okay, who do I most care about? Judgment. My parents. So the only thing I'm going to do is work on not giving a fuck about what my parents think. Because if I don't give a fuck about what they think, I'm not going to give a fuck about what anyone thinks. And that's what I did. And the way I did that, I moved back home when I was 37 because I lost everything and I was made bankrupt essentially. And I had to move back in with my parents. And I was like, I'm just going to tell them the fucking truth. Now that I learned how to tell the truth, I'm just going to tell my parents the truth. And I'm going to deal with their reaction to it. And I did. And then I was like, I don't give a fuck what my parents think anymore. And that helped me not give a fuck about what anyone else thinks.
Wow. So
that's a true story. That's a 10-year journey, that, by the way.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's the kind of thing that happens like overnight. Or whatever. You do a lot of outreach, right? But you also post content every day. Why is the content still important despite the fact that, all the business is really coming from like you doing outreach?
To warm up the audience before I do the outreach. And also when you know this from LinkedIn, when you send a message out and they engage,
I mean, I know the answer. I know the answer.
Yeah, but yeah, 100%. It puts my content on their feed, the outreach, doesn't it? Right? If they engage. And also, I can qualify through content. So if someone doesn't like me swearing and they hear me swearing in one of the videos we do, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to work with that guy. Okay, good. I don't want to talk to you. If someone doesn't want to do outreach, they want to do passive income, then I shit on that on my content. I'm not call this guy then, right? So it's like you're pre-qualifying people. You're getting them familiar. The most important thing is familiarity, really. Familiarity first. I know this guy. I feel like I know him. I feel like I can talk to him. And it's like movies.
Which is why we continue to do videos on LinkedIn despite the fact that
100%.
barely anybody sees them.
100%. Yeah. Although they tend to watch them when they're interested, right? So they'll tend to go.
It's funny. People complain about how much, impressions they get on the video. But then, like, if you actually go and look, the real metric that you need to be paying attention to is watch time. If you go and you look at the watch time and you see that like this video's been watched for 300 minutes or 400 minutes or 500 minutes, you're like, people are watching this shit.
That's a lot, huh? And because so the way when we started doing content, I did them all together. I did them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I split them. I spread them. So I do now Monday, Thursday, Saturday, because when they go into my profile, the way LinkedIn have now done the content thing, it's like they're probably going to catch a video.
Right.
If I spread them. Right. And so they're catching the videos.
Right.
Because most people say to me, I feel like I know you. I feel like, I watched your video about this. And that's how I know it's working. And also, it's like, if you want to get to know someone, you will watch a video. If he has videos and written and you want to watch, I used to read people's blogs and stuff. And I'm like, I wonder what he sounds like. You know what I mean? You ever had that? It's like, or you're reading a book and you're like, I wonder what his accent's like, if he was reading this. And when I started getting audibles, I was like, oh, that's what he sounds like, when it was the guy, you know? But so every time I see it, that's maybe just a few of us or a percentage of us do that. But I'm like, I want to fucking hear what this fucker looks like. Sounds like. I want to see what he looks like. I want to hear what he sounds like. It's just natural, no?
Right.
So
Right.
if you have video, then and we know from you, just go and look at YouTube and the amount of podcasts that are downloaded and the amount of audibles that are like, people like to listen and hear
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
watch. Yeah.
You know, I had some guy talking smack at me in my YouTube comments or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, oh, you're doing this with like, you got 800 subscribers and you're making this money. And I look at my watch time. I only have 800 subscribers on YouTube, but like
They're
I got
watching.
1,000 hours of watch time.
They're watching.
People are
Yeah, yeah.
watching.
There's a similarity with that. And when you were talking about why it's important I get to know my prospects. Because when I spend time, when someone says I went through Mo's program, they're spending 60 hours, 100 hours with me. This isn't a come into the Mo Choice Academy and I'll do a 45-minute Q&A on a Monday and there's 84 people in the room and I don't fuck. Like my clients, I know their daughter's name. I know, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's another thing. It's depth. And you can't get depth with breadth. You can't. There's too many people. That's why I don't like viral. You know, so many people have been telling me, do this lead magnet thing. You know, I'm like, hey, I just created a chat GPT prompt that will make you zillions with one click of the button. You know, this bullshit. And then you'll get like 1,000 people commenting prompt and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I make fun of it. And then they say, you're jealous. I'm like, you don't think I can fucking do that? I'll give you my fucking playbook, outreach playbook that made me 50 grand a month. You want it? How many fucking hundreds of, or maybe even thousands of people are going to comment on that?
Sure.
I don't want it. What am I going to do with all these?
Yeah.
What
This
am I
is
going
my
to do?
outreach playbook that's got me
Yeah.
to $50,000 a month
Yeah.
MRR on LinkedIn. Is like, well, I want that.
Prompt, outreach, comment, outreach.
Yeah.
You know, I go on these things and I comment cunt or bullshit. And they still send me the fucking lead magnet. They still send it to me. It's like, I didn't comment the thing you told me to comment. I
Oh
told
my
you
God.
again.
So how do you not get, have you ever been banned?
I spell it CNUT. Come on, Danny.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but have you ever gotten banned from LinkedIn? Or
Yeah,
no?
a few times.
Yeah.
But then I beg and they let me back in.
I love it.
I got told off the other day. So this guy messaged me and he said, he sent me a connection request. I know I track all of this, right? So he sent me a connection request and I accepted and I said, hey, what's going on? You know, I checked out your profile, blah, blah, blah. What do you know, how did you find me?
What's your deal?
And he ignored me. And then I said, hey, did you get my message? And he's like, yeah, I don't listen to voice notes. And so I said to him, why not? And he ignored me. And then I said, hey, I asked you a question. Why don't you listen to voice notes? And then he ignored me again. And then I said to him, listen, you reached out to me. I sent you a message. You said you don't listen to voice notes. I've asked you why not. You've ignored me. Why are you reaching out to me if you don't want to talk? And he said, number one, you reached out to me. I didn't. Number two, because I know what I send when I reach out to people. Number one. Number two, you don't know what people are going through. And number three, leave me alone. So I said, number one, you connected to me, fuckface. Number two, you don't know what I'm going through. And number three, leave me the fuck alone. And then I blocked him. And then I still got a warning from LinkedIn. They said, we don't like the bullying and the harassment that you put in someone's inbox. And this is a warning. If you do it again, we're gonna ban you.
I've never been banned, not once.
No,
I
you're
guess
one of the.
I guess
You're one
it's I guess because it's you know, I got a nice
They
smile.
like you, Dan. They like you.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they do.
They don't
I
like
guess
you know, they used to in the clubbing business when I was in hospitality bars and clubs. They used to call me Marmite Mo. Marmite's like Vegemite. You know, this thing that you either love it or you hate it. And so my nickname was Marmite Mo because people either really connected with the way I am and work and all this stuff, or they couldn't do it. And I honestly, my theory is it's because I hold a mirror up at people. Like I show them things that they can't be them. They can't tell the truth and they can't be themselves. And people don't like that. I feel like I'm like blowing my own trumpet. I don't want to do. I don't. need to
no,
do
no,
it.
you're not. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I just to balance it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm definitely not the smartest guy in the room. I make so many fucking mistakes. I'm a hypocrite with so many things. I tell people what to do, things that I never do. So yeah, there's a lot of faults. A lot of faults.
Well, I appreciate your honesty on that. Let me ask you a question. How do you look at somebody and be like, this is it. This is a good fit. For me, this is a good fit for the 216.
You can usually tell pretty quickly by talking to someone if it's someone that's sharp and smart, and obviously you can look at what they've done and how they present themselves, which is super important for anyone listening. Like, they used to say to me, one of my mentors said, you have to dress well. I can't. Like, this is overdressing for me. Like, I just don't like,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
a V-neck is a little overdressed for
yeah, yeah. Honestly. And like I've brushed my hair and it's like, I don't like this shit. I just don't want to, I just want to wake up and do work. You know what I mean? I wish I could be like a lumberjack or something, honestly. Oh, my hands are useless. So all the power went to my tongue apparently and fucking left my hands. Uh, you know what I mean? But they used to say if you dress to impress, and it's true. I've seen it. It's absolutely true, right? Um, and what I do agree though is that the presentation of your profile it has to look good, has to look like you paid attention to it. Same as your house, like you got to make your house look beautiful and pay attention to the details, and I think that's really really super important. So I look at these things: have they taken care? How are they presenting themselves? What's their history like? How they engage? What kind of language? And then when I meet them, so all of that, you don't ignore that and say, oh, we're starting the conversation from ground zero. We're not. All of that's coming in. And then in the conversation, you can see how sharp, witty, do they have a good humor? Are they okay with me probing and provoking a little bit? And so I'm constantly testing to see whether we'd be a good fit together. And then the only question in my head really is, would I partner with this guy on a business? Meaning, would I bet on him or her? And would I spend every day with them building? And if the answer is fuck yeah, then I want to work with them. And by the way, that excitement comes in. I went on a losing streak with sales. I wasn't always good at sales, but I'm good at talking, but I never knew the structure of sales really. I learned when I was 20 and I was very good at cold call and door to door and stuff like that. But I kind of lost it on the way. And then I lost it online. I had these doubts about it's different and I need to be in the room with them and on phone it's better. And I made all these excuses about why I wasn't selling. So I had to really relearn it. Um, it I think if I would work with them, if I know I would work with them, if I know I would start a business with them, they feel that. And if I don't want to work with them, they feel that. And so when I went on this losing streak with sales, it was it was like 16 sales calls I didn't close. It was ridiculous.
Hmm.
And I went like 2 months without closing. And I was like, I'm fucked. Like if this carries on, how I have to go get a fucking job or do something else. But that's all these, the demons started coming in. And I watched back the videos with Sarah, who's one of my closest associates, let's say. And we noticed that I wasn't excited by these people. Like we're
Mm.
just like watching me. And I'm like, yeah. And then there was no enthusiasm. And so when we analyzed it, I was like, I didn't want to work with any of them. And what a reframe that is. So it wasn't like I sucked at sales because I was following the script and I was doing everything the same way, but the tone was different. The twinkle in the eye was gone. The energy wasn't there and they felt it. And, it's like, oh, I'm going to have to think about it. And it's like what they're basically saying is, I don't think you're fucking excited, but they don't know this. It's all subconscious. But they're basically saying, I know you're not that excited about working with me. And they were right. Sorry to those 16. I didn't want to work with you. Yeah. And you didn't want to work with me as a result. So yeah. So I think that's super, super important. So if the logical stuff is there, he's clever, he's got a good niche, he knows how to talk. That's all logic, right? It's like conscious. Clear that first and then see how you feel because your body will tell you everything. The only way your feeling is distorted is if you don't have the conscious data.
Yeah, it's really such a good point because there's been many people that like I've worked with, they looked great on paper. And like I just had this feeling that like it's like I don't know,
Something's off.
yeah, like
Something's off,
it's
right?
just like it's like a little bit off. And you know
Mm.
what? Every single one of those people that I had that feeling about, it didn't turn out good for us at all.
And
None.
it's a good reminder for when you lose a sale too that looks good on paper, that you maybe think, maybe I wasn't that excited by it, and that's what fed off, and maybe I'm not that excited. Man, the worst, I can't imagine you sitting there and going, I've got to go and book this 1 hour session with this fucking mofucker, and I can't stand him, and I got to spend fucking 1 hour pretending I like him and pretending I'm enjoying and like that's the fucking. I'd rather get a job.
Oh
in
man.
my little cubicle and not have to talk to anyone. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd rather do that.
Oh, it's so funny. You know, I've worked with the same editors for a long time, and they could tell.
Yeah?
Oh, they could tell.
Amazing.
They're like, "We know which ones are your favorite."
I think it's true for everything. Like, you can tell when people don't like you. You can tell when people are excited by you. You can, like, the body doesn't lie. You know, the eyes, the smile. You can't hide your lying eyes. The Eagles fucking taught us this. The great philosophers, the Eagles.
Uh,
Huh?
Love
Don't
it.
make me
All
start
right.
singing. Definitely don't want to hear me singing.
Now, Mo, I appreciate you, man.
You too.
This was great. I always like hanging out. When you pop up on my calendar, I'm like, yes, let's go. Let's fucking go. I'm like, I know that I'm in for a barrage of expletives, but also a lot of fun at the same time. I'm trying hard to eliminate expletives. It's a church thing. I've been going to church a lot, and I'm like,
Good for you.
I
I
gotta,
think it's important.
I
I mean,
gotta try.
my mom before she passed away was like, she doesn't like it at all.
Yeah.
Kept telling me, and I'm like, after my mom passed, I was like, I'm gonna try that.
It's hard because I've been doing it
Fucking
for
hard.
30 something years or whatever, right? So
It's fucking hard,
it
Danny.
is. It's fucking hard. Yeah, it is. I am trying to control myself better with that. But anyway, I love you and I appreciate you. And tell everybody where they can find you.
You can Google Mo Choice. I'm the only one and only, but you can find me on LinkedIn. My permanent residence is the LinkedIn inbox, so I'm usually there. Yeah, just connect with me there. Tell people that you heard me on. Tell me that you heard me on Danny's, because otherwise I'm probably going to ignore you. So put in the notes. Saw you on the Danny Del Vecchio podcast, and it'd be good to connect and or just follow me and catch me on the feed. But I'm very happy to meet people.
Beautiful.
Oh, I do have something too. I run
Yes.
the monthly masterclass that I told
Go,
you about.
go.
So people go to mochoice.com, moechoice.com /podcast. Very easy. I've given Danny's listeners a special invitation to my next masterclass and a couple of bonuses too about my systems, my style, my processes that might be useful for you if you're looking to up your LinkedIn game. So go and sign up, and I'll see you at the next masterclass, and maybe you'll buy my offer. Who knows?
They may be the next one. They may be the next one. There's a bunch of people that have made
It's a good
money
deal.
from coming on this podcast. I'm not going to lie. There's been a bunch. So I wouldn't be surprised. All right, Mo, I'll
Amazing.
see you.
All righty. Peace.